What is going on, guys? Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Just pulled up the park tonight. We got the Space One Meteor here. It's time for the very first FPV flight with it, and I'm really excited for this. If you guys did not catch the last video with this quad here, we essentially did some component configuration as well as installed a receiver. Got it all tuned up, and we ended up doing a hover test there, just completely line of sight. But now we get to go ahead and get under the hood in the goggles and see how this thing performs as an actual racing quad. And I'm out here at the park, of course, large, big, wide open field. Really gonna test the limits of this 200 milliwatt VTX here. But I'm super excited to see what this can do. And one thing I did notice when I was setting up the OSD and looking at this camera here is that it is a relatively large fisheye lens on here. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that or not. We might have to change that out on the Runcam Mini Swift, but we're gonna see how it goes. I configured my OSD. You'll see that in the DVR footage, which we're gonna crop to about now. Basically, I'm gonna go ahead and voice over this next part and show you guys some DVR of this very first flight. So let's get to it.
Alright guys, so as you can see, we are on the ground with the Space One Meteor. I'm really excited to get this thing up in the air for the very first time under the hood. So let's go ahead and get it armed and do that now. So my first impressions on the squad here is just how much power there is up for grabs. This is a lightweight little beast, and of course, even though it only has 2205 race spec Emax motors, they do have a fairly high kV rating, as well as, of course, we are running high pitch props, and just the fact that we're not using an HD camera on this 5-inch build does give a lot more power to play with. This thing is really, really nice to have. I mean, of course, that extra power on tap, and it's also very, very touchy. That's one thing I noticed. It's a little bit too sensitive for my liking. However, I'm assuming the previous owner used it this way and probably had some Expo or some different dual rates in the transmitter. But yeah, just for me, I'm probably going to go ahead and change that in beta flight here after this flight. But it's also a very, very smooth build. I'm sure that the owner took a lot of time to tune out the PIDs correctly and do a lot of filtering, as well as these props, obviously a brand new set, as well as they have those little vortex generators on them that kind of mitigate any excess prop wash on them as well, which is super, super nice. I didn't really think I'd like these props as much as I do, but I will probably buy more sets here in the future. Anyway, let's go ahead and just fly around the field here. The one nice thing about flying around a big open field is just that it takes away that stress of having to get everything sorted out, and I can feel like I can crash this quad without that much damage, without obviously the personal safety of others being jeopardized. So that's good. And of course, the only real thing you can do around here is just kind of zoom around, maybe do some bank turns and funnels and open air tricks, but you really don't have anything to chase around. You don't have a subject. You don't really have anything to fly through. But just for the opening flights, it's really not a big concern of mine. So yeah, you can see on the OSD here that I'm getting a lot of low battery warnings, and that is because my voltage sensor is just not working built in this flight controller. I'm gonna have to like calibrate that somehow. I'm not totally sure. I'm somewhat new to beta flight altogether, but it's giving me those low battery warnings. I'm going off that upper left hand corner where there's that clock that's counting up, and we've got about 2 minutes and 10 seconds right now, which would be probably about a 3-minute flight total, I believe, is when I landed here overall. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. We just have a few little kinks to iron out in that sense. So yeah, we're still zooming around here. I mean, getting comfortable with it. It's not, like I said, the cleanest of first flights, especially. It's not Johnny FPV or Ladrib quality flow, but other than that, I mean, I think that I've mastered this rate and just trying to keep it up in the air at least. But by the time we get an HD camera on this thing, I'm sure we'll get everything ironed out and we'll be ready to kind of continue with my FPV progressions. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for how this thing is flying all together, but it's time to go ahead and end this because you can see we're nearing the 3-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close down the video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.